Olivia, thanks for being here with us today at Telemundo Deportes. You've been living in the spotlight since you were 13 years old. You fight the league to be able to play pro sooner. I read that your parents actually built a small training facility at your house. Take us through those days. How was a regular day for Olivia Moultrie when she was 13?
Jeez.
In her backyard?
It's so funny. We were actually revisiting this at breakfast this morning and just talking about like how different everything was. And like my dad obviously took me to training, picked me up from training. And yeah, I'm training with a professional team in the Portland Thorns. So yeah, it was crazy. When we moved, part of what we were looking for a house was like, could we have enough space to have like a soccer field? We had one back in California. It was small, like an 18-yard box plus a little bit of yards. And yeah, I mean, trained so much out there, like every morning, like before school. It was my favorite place, right? And so when we moved here, we obviously wanted to recreate that. Because yeah, for me, being able to touch a ball and be able to have access to that whenever is super important to me. But we do have a little field outside the house, and honestly, a normal day was just like wake up, go to training. Very different environment, obviously, as you can imagine. And something that was interesting for me is like load management was a thing. I was like, who is this person thing, load management? So most of the time I would come home and train again and just get out on the field and do the things that I felt like got cut short in session. And then it's just like recover and do it all over again. But when I was 13, like all those habits that I've developed now, recovery, eating right, like I learned kind of all of those things being in that professional environment since I've been 13. So it was kind of just like refining and honing in on what does it mean to be a professional athlete? But each day was a little different, but at the same time, yeah, just kind of learning that consistency in terms of being able to perform my best each day.
Who taught you all of that? Because like I've been a player. There's a lot of things when we speak about performance, but the invisible training is so important too. So were you keeping track of your sleep, of your macros when you were eating? Was that a thing when you were that young?
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, like being introduced to everything so young, like I also am someone who just loves to absorb knowledge. So like I was looking for all those things, right? Obviously my teammates set certain examples for me being in that environment and just what was offered, like in terms of having a nutritionist, like having a strength and conditioning coach. So like all of those things were introduced. And then for me and my goals and wanting to like become one of the best players in the world someday. And like, that was the thing I had in mind, right? So I'm looking at the people who have done those things in other sports, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, like what have they done? And so that's a lot of it. Like what got introduced to me is like, oh, they're working with a personal trainer. Oh, they're working with a chef or a nutritionist or like, so I was like, what are the extra things that I have to do? Because the soccer part and loving that and wanting to do that all the time, like that was a no-brainer. But it was like, how did I control all the other things and create good habits? And so, yeah, all of those things were introduced to me at a very young age, and learning what worked for me and what I liked and just what allowed me to be my best. I definitely have gone up and down with, yeah, all of it. But I feel like that just taught me a lot and taught me what works for me. But yeah, I mean, I'm still learning and still trying to refine everything. So
I remember reading about it when you were fighting the league, and I'm like, how is it that she's going to play pro so young? A lot of even the U.S. women's national team legends doubted you at one point. Is there something you would say to yourself, to your younger self now?
Yeah, I think at the time, just like the unknown, like I revisiting it later, like I actually was talking to Tobin Heath and Kristen Press, and she was talking to me about like, we were just unsure because we were being treated a certain way in the league. And so I personally was like, oh my gosh, I don't want a young kid to have to deal with that. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like I had never thought about it from that perspective. And so learning kind of what they were thinking, like, of course that makes sense. But for me and my 13-year-old mind and soul vision, it was just like, I knew what I wanted. I knew the goals that I had. And honestly, like nothing about it was perfect per se, but I wouldn't trade or like take away any experience that I had, because I truthfully do feel like it has shaped me into like the person and player that I am today. All of those things that were hard, like they made me better. And so, yeah, definitely that first year with Portland, like that was tough, and just people being very skeptical of that decision and, thinking there was an ulterior motive from like my family and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like I drove that. I wanted that more than anything. Like I love what I do and I love my job, and everything has stemmed from like just a passion for wanting to play. So yeah, it was hard, but I am so happy that I am where I am, and I still have so much more that I want to do. So yeah, I wouldn't take any of it back. And to say, like, what would I tell myself at 13? Like, I would just keep it on, basically, like, focus on the things you can control and trust yourself, because at the end of the day, like I said, I love where I am and I just want to keep going. So
what's your game day ritual right now?
I don't know if I have one specific one. I do like routine though. So every game day is this, like, I like to wake up at a certain time. I eat the same meals every game day. Like, I have the same recovery process throughout the game day. So like, I'll always go on a walk, or I'll get on the field and touch the ball a little bit. I like to use the Normatec boots before, like pre-game nap, all these things. So I like to keep them all the same. But I don't like to call it superstition, because to me, then it's like, oh, there's something that can get in the way. And like, no, it's just, I like routine, and I like to control the things that I can to make myself be as ready in the things that, yeah, I have control over as possible. But those are some of the things I do on game day, and I plan on keeping it the same for as much as I can.
Now I'm curious, what is your pregame meal?
Oh, it's always pancakes.
Okay.
Pancakes, peanut butter, yogurt, and fruit.
And
to go to. Oh, I don't know. That changes. That depends on how I'm feeling after the game. Yeah, literally.
Okay. What is it that you want to accomplish over the next 2 years? Where do you see Olivia Moultrie in the next 2 years?
I mean, I think there's like so many answers to that question. In terms of my club situation, like, I just want to keep growing within my team. I want to keep building my role and just, like, yeah, refining the player that I want to be. I want to become more dangerous. Like, I want to help us score more goals. I want to compete for championships. 100%, that's on my mind. And then obviously I want to continue to build my role within the national team. I want to be here as much as possible. Like, the national team is a huge part of my goals as a player, and just being able to represent your country is truly just an honor. So as much as I can make that happen, I want to do that. And yeah, try to make the decisions as difficult as possible, but genuinely just focusing on each moment, each day, and how can I get better? And yeah, at the end of the day, growing into the player that I want to be. So
you scored 2 goals in the last game. Amazing game, by the way. But we saw a lot of chemistry with you and Avery on the right.
Mm-hmm.
I did the interview with her, and she said you guys were playing together since a very early age. How is it to be able to play now in the biggest stages with someone that you know so well, and you guys understand each other perfectly on the field?
Yeah, it's honestly really fun, because obviously when I joined Portland at 13, like, that separated me from kind of just a lot of people that I had been playing with, especially like youth national team stuff. And now it's kind of like we're finally all back together again a little bit. And it's so fun to just play with people that, yeah, you've gone to Youth World Cup with, or qualifying, and just been in camps with and spent a lot of time with. And now to do that, like, obviously everyone's goal here is to, like, be on this team. So it's so exciting to be able to work and do that at the highest level. Yeah, Avery and I have known each other for a bit now, and it's funny because, like, committed to the same college, but then obviously I didn't end up going. But it's fun for it all to just come back around together, and yeah, to just kind of relearn and play with those people, and hopefully be able to do it for a long time. So
last one, what can we expect from the team in the next game?
Oof. Honestly, at the end of the day, we're just trying to build off each performance. Like, there are so many little things and little details that we're trying to add, but yeah, we have time, and we want to take advantage of every moment and every game we have leading up to the 27 World Cup. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things in store for this team, and I'm really excited about it.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you.
Ya que nos encontraste, no nos pierdas.
Suscríbete al canal de YouTube de Telemundo Deportes.